Hi everyone, my name is Jack. I run North Carolina, and this is my free 740 turbo diesel. To give you an idea of how I got this car, it technically was kind of for free. It was more of a trade. I had a 940 with a B230 in it that I got from a guy out in Raleigh. He had it abandoned on his property. I drove by and said, I'd like to buy that car, please. I got it home for $800, sold the headlights to a guy in Sweden, as you do, and then it sat in my backyard for a while until I had a guy come by and say, hey, I need a 940 parts car with a B230, and I need a spare B230, which I also had. And he said, I will give you two D24Ts, one in this car, and the other one is sitting in my barn. If you are from Sweden, you may think, wow, that is crazy. And you'd kind of be right, because finding D24Ts in the United States is incredibly hard. And why is that? It's because no one knows how to work on them. So they all blew up about when I was 4, and there's not a lot of them left. People in Sweden love these motors. I'm sure they're fine. But no one here in America knows how to work on them. So it is up to me to get one of these running and do something with it. I have not looked at this car other than getting it off the trailer. I do not know what surprises lay in wait in the engine bay or on the inside other than what I can see from here, which is a very, very, very sad sun-destroyed oxblood interior and a very, very, very sun-destroyed black exterior. I'm sure in its day this car was quite nice, but unfortunately hippies in the mountains don't tend to take care of their cars very good. They just drive them until they blow up, which this might be. This car also, I was told, was run on corn oil, also known as biofuel, also known as the stuff that restaurants throw out that you can somehow turn into gasoline to run a diesel. I do not plan on doing that because I am not a hippie, nor do I care about the environment in that way, or care about distilling my own fuel. I like to go to the pump and put it in my car. So we're going to do a little walk around video and see what we got going on in and around this car. And maybe we'll find some cool things inside. I genuinely do not know. I have not even opened the door. All right, let's give this thing a little walk around here real quick. As you can tell, it's been sitting for quite some time. It was up near Asheville, which is in the western part of North Carolina. For my international friends, it is more of the mountain area. And as you can tell, I do not live in the mountain area. I live in central North Carolina. Got a spare tire on this wheel, but I can see two full-size wheels in there. We got a set of, well, the set is a very loose term of American headlights for it. So let's take a look on the inside, shall we? I do know there's no more wasps in this. I am at least aware of that. So yeah, oxblood red interior, which would be cool. But it's pretty messed up. This is a sunroof car like most US market 740s and 760s. This one is a mechanical sunroof, which is kind of a pain to deal with, but you know, it is what it is. This car, I believe, if I can sneak my phone in here, is at around 190,000 miles. I don't know if the odometer works or not, obviously. That's something we'll find out if and when it ever runs. Pretty light on the options, honestly, for a 740 GLE. No cruise control, obviously. A lot of missing switches here, which I guess is kind of be expected if it's a mechanical sunroof, non-760. You're not going to have a lot of your, electric sunroof switches or fog lights or anything like that. This is a automatic car with the ZF22, which unfortunately I was told this one might be missing second gear, but that is kind of an issue for down the road. Seats are in pretty poor shape, as you can see. They're pretty ruined. In the back, let's see, we have two spare wheels. believe these are Rigel wheels. I've had these on a bunch of my 740s over the years, and I've never bothered really keeping them or doing anything with them because I don't think they're very good looking wheels with those big dog dish caps. Speaking of which, we'll walk to the other side here. Just listen to those amazing Volvo door hinges that have never been lubricated. Looks like we got a spare intake manifold. Put that over there. Whatever. We got another spare intake manifold that looks a little bit crustier. I gotta remember to look at the camera while I'm talking too, so you can actually see what I'm seeing. We have a valve cover. Very cool, very useful. This one does not have the diesel stamped on it. And we have a very rusty camshaft. That is not a good sign, but I guess it's not broken, so that's cool. I don't know, maybe, I mean, can you run stuff like this through like a blasting cabinet and bring it back? I mean, I know once they run, they kind of like don't rust it up again, but I mean, can you clean up a cam that rusty? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, every single door card is absolutely smoked, as you would expect from a car that has sat in the sun for probably 30 years without moving. They left me a giant pile of oil filters, or maybe fuel filters? Probably oil filters, which is cool, I guess. Nothing really that exciting going on in the center console at all. No fun, fancy radios or anything like that. I don't even know what happened here. Yeah, there's literally like nothing reusable out of this oxblood interior besides maybe the center console plastic, and even that's liable to explode into 10 billion pieces as soon as you touch it. So that's cool. At least this wasn't leaking water into the car. That's the only saving grace. All right, let's take a look around the back here. So we got the good old turbo diesel badging. You can see this is quite grimy. It's got a bunch of stickers on it from Florida, some sticker from 1990 for this place called Pluto Sports. We got some more like surf, disc golf, you know, like I said, you know, hippie mountain people shit. In the trunk, we do have our spare headlight chrome. That is worth the price of admission by itself right there. And we also have a very destroyed glove box. Cool. I'm also having to hold up the trunk while I tell you all this. So let's see if I can use this piece of A-pillar trim to hold it up. I doubt that's going to be rigid enough to do anything. Oh! Wow, look at that. Well, this is definitely going to fall on my head as soon as I move it, but all right, let's see what we got under here. All right, a set of wagon taillights for some reason. What looks like the original cover for the airbag, a destroyed passenger side headlight. Very cool. Is there anything else interesting under here? Speaker, hubcap, glove box trim. No, nothing too exciting under here, unfortunately. What do we got over here? A nice pair of socks and a bunch of hardware. Very cool, very cool. Man, you can just see this car, you know, here's the original black paint under here. Man, this thing would have been so nice back in this day. Black over oxblood with a diesel. I mean, it really doesn't get better than that. But yeah, like I said, it's a pretty low spec GLE. It doesn't have the rear deck speakers or anything like that. Nothing too crazy. I mean, of course, you've got your standard thick chrome fender crap that all the guys in Sweden like to go crazy for. These cars are supposed to have a aluminum hood, but I don't think aluminum does that. So you be the judge. If I had to guess, it probably got in some sort of front end accident at some point, and they just got a hood from a pull apart that was maybe also black. Who knows? But yeah, here it is. Here's the engine. It looks pretty stock. There's a lot of spider webs everywhere, so I won't be really reaching my hand down in here until I can get a power washer on this. I do plan on maybe making a video of actually, going through the whole car, trying to get it running, doing that sort of fun series. But I just wanted to get an initial video out, just kind of going over it, showing all you guys in Sweden what most of our Volvo 700 series cars in the United States look like. Most of them look like this. They don't look like my gold car that's hiding over there, or this my 760 that's got grass growing around it, or this 740 over here that's also a parts car. They usually come like this. They're usually pretty rough. Here's the VIN if anyone's curious. But yeah, chrome, standard chrome front end, USDM front bumper, diesel badge from a 240, I was told. I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. I know those turbo diesel badges are just so rare. But the most surprising thing is that this car the shell is relatively rust free. I mean, I haven't been able to see any sort of rust on it anywhere other than like these little, hood chips and everything. Yeah, motor doesn't look like it was monkeyed with that much, but it's my confidence in this running is pretty low, considering they said they were messing with it. But it might be a case of just taking off belts and bypassing stuff like the AC compressor and the power steering, like just get it running by itself, cap off a bunch of vacuum lines. We'll kind of see. Like I said, I've never worked on one of these. I've owned a ton of 700 series cars, and part of a lot of 700 series cars, I've had one diesel previously, and it was in much worse condition than this one. So yeah, that's about it with this thing. Not much else to show. It's, there's nothing really that special going on. What I can do is just walk over to the barn and kind of show you guys what else I got. So here in the little side building of my back garage is where I'm keeping this motor. And now this one's in a lot nicer shape than the one that's in that car. You can see all the crickets hopping away as I walk in here. But yeah, this one had a recently rebuilt pump. It's got a lot of nice paint on it. This motor, I think, is a better candidate for one that I think will run. And then I think that car out there will be more of a donor for stuff like motor mounts, the cluster, the fuel pump assembly, all the weird diesel specific parts that are on these cars. So it also did come with a ton of spare parts and gaskets, more intake manifolds, exhaust manifolds, turbo, etc. So I at least have two full motors to kind of build one good motor out of. So yeah, guys, that's going to be about it on this one. Like I said, stay tuned for a the guy shooting an FRT AR over there. Stay tuned for a little bit of a build video on this. My plan is probably to get the one on the crane started first, just because I won't have to be working around in an engine bay. I actually plan on getting a pallet from work and making a nice little engine cradle for that one. I can then make a standalone kind of wiring harness for it and know everything's good, everything's hooked up. Have a bunch of switches on a panel and everything like that. See if I can get that motor running on a little fuel cell, and then maybe tackle this one, just because it'll be a lot easier to work on that one, not in an engine bay. If I can get these running and kind of get some confidence with the D24T, the plan will be to probably transplant that drivetrain into a different car. There's one on Marketplace right now. It's August 6th the day I'm recording this. There's one up in Virginia. It's a 87 760 GLE silver with oxblood that's in really, really nice shape. It's a V6, the PRV V6, so no love lost pulling the motor out of that. It already doesn't run, but the shell is immaculate. The car looks really nice. I'm tempted to go grab that. I think they want like $1,000 for the whole car. The other thing I've been considering is doing like a base model 940. I'm 6'5". I have a lot of issues with headroom in these 7 Series cars, especially with the stock seats and when they have a sunroof. So it would be really nice to do maybe a 9 Series build instead of another 7 like the one I have in my garage. There's one locally I had my eye on, white with a blue cloth interior, no sunroof, but I think that would be fun. Put some Euro lamps on it, you know, maybe some 960 bumpers, etc. Make that kind of clean. So there's some options. I'll keep my eye open kind of throughout the year, see if anything kind of pops up. I would love to do kind of a more unique build, a unique color. I really love those green turquoise 940s if I could find something like that. The rest of the shells I have on my property, like that blue wagon, the interior on that one's just a bit too far gone. And it's got no front end. I really don't want to do another 740 with the quad headlights if I can avoid it, just to mix it up a little bit. And then the 760 turbo, it's the same deal. I mean, it's got a really, really terrible paint job on it. And I ripped most of the interior out to part out, sell to people, use for my own cars. And that one's got a B230 turbo in it, and it's just easier to leave the motor in it for now while I have it stored. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'm going to need a lot of help with these diesels. They are very, very unknown here in the US. Been watching a lot of Baked Beans Garage videos. I'm just like him without any of the skill or the time or the editing ability. But we did both live in North Carolina at one point, so kind of similar. Yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know how these videos look. I'm not much of a YouTuber. I just kind of do this for fun and to learn how to edit and share what I do. Give me a shout. North Carolina on Instagram. If you liked it, give it a like. Subscribe if you want to. Be cool. But anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.